Z veseljem pozdravljam tudi sopredavatelja, generalnega sekretarja Evropskega združenja delničarjev, gospoda Guillaume Praša, ki je hkrati tudi izvršni direktor Evropske federacije investitorjev. Predvsem pa seveda bi prosil našega spoštovanega gosta, Guillauma Praša, prihaja iz Bruslja, sicer pa je Parižan. Please, Mr. Praš, if you be so kind to have a couple of words.
So I am very happy to be in Ljubljana today at the invitation of the Slovenian Shareholder Association, VZMD, and Christian Verbeek. Ljubljana Stock Exchange Index did not recover as much as other European markets, and so that is a big worry. So I think it is both a question of getting back the Slovenian investors to the market, but also more importantly to open it and internationalize it so that other investors can come and trade shares. And again, this public offering, if it happens on Mercator, will be a good thing in that sense, because it will make more aware outside of Slovenia that there are indeed blue chips in Slovenia that can be interesting to trade and to buy. Again, if there is also more serious problems, which there well may be inside Slovenia, that, for example, as I said, for some companies, there are some big shareholders who are maybe voluntarily keeping the prices down, not and trying to, interfere with the free pricing between, demand and offer on the market. Then I would say there are several things. Of course, the government, the authorities should do a lot about this, as I said, but you as an individual shareholder, what can you do? First, I would say that you should join a defense association, a shareholder association, because united you will be stronger. And again, as I said, in case, and this kind of association who have, expert and professional people like Christian, they can dig into these problems and see if there is, for example, a case for action. And, shareholders should not be lambs going to the slaughterhouse. They should fight for their rights, and if it's the right thing to do, maybe go to court. And as I said, I hope Europe will help Slovenian investors as well as other European small investors, so that they can have collective action, which is much easier because it's one action for a group. And I think it's not only the case for shareholders in life, but you have to fight for your rights. And small shareholders, usually in Europe, are still not very well informed, and this starts at school. If I take the example of my children, they learn about complex geometry theorems like Pythagoras or Thales, but when I ask them what is an interest rate, they have no idea. It is not taught in schools right now, and it should be. You should have basic education, financial education in schools about interest rates, about what is a share, what is it to own part of a public company, what is a bond, etc. So it starts there. And so that's the first thing a government could do to help small investors and small shareholders, is to start by making sure they get the basics of financial education at school. Then also it's a question of advice and transparency. Advice currently in Europe, in many cases, too often, is biased advice, is not, I would say, independent advice. The reason is that most people who call themselves financial advisors, and so give you advice, are not advisors, they are salespeople who are selling products, financial products. And this is very serious, and it's a big problem because, for example, if you buy a share or if you buy a pension product, you usually commit yourself for a long time on a product that is, not always easy to understand. And it's important that you get independent advice for this choice. And this is very misleading to see, financial advice. And again, most of cases, when you check out, the person who calls himself an advisor is in fact paid by the provider of the product to sell the product. It's like if you were going, as I always say, to buy a car. When you are going to buy a car, first a car is easier to understand than a pension product or a share, usually. You know that it's going to at that speed, that it has this power, blah, blah, blah. But you go to a car dealer, it says car dealer. It does not say transportation advisor, does it? So it should be the same for financial products. Now there is the problem of transparency, and that is really a good thing to speak about transparency now with what is happening today in Slovenia and on the Slovenian capital market. You have to know that the European authorities, and as Christian told you, I am defending small investors and small shareholders' rights at the European level. We are based in Brussels, and we are defending the interests of small shareholders vis-à-vis the European authorities, the European Commission, etc. In fact, I don't know if you said that, Christian, but we represent 31 national shareholder associations, including the Slovenian one, and in fact, I think it's well explained in your little leaflet here, so I will not spend too much time on this. But the European Commission itself is worried about these problems and has made public consultations recently on the advice issue I just told you about. They made a consultation in January on the corporate governance of issuers of public companies, like public companies listed in the Ljubljana Stock Exchange. There is an ongoing consultation that was launched by the European Commission April 5, so it's very recent. It's still opened, so it's quite in the news today. A third way to protect shareholders and make sure they will make money is to make sure that the public companies that are doing bad things and that are creating collective damages for shareholders can be pursued and can be where you can claim damages and get indemnified. And again, the European authorities are quite sensitive to this after the financial crisis. They realize that a lot of small shareholders have suffered a lot of damages, have lost a lot of money, have lost confidence, have lost faith in the stock market, in the public companies. And so there is also an open consultation right now on collective actions to allow throughout Europe, inside Slovenia, but also cross-border, if you have shares in non-Slovenian companies. And if a company, normally it's rare, but it happens, if the company has really mistreated shareholders, to the benefit of the management or to the benefit of the majority shareholder or whoever, there should be the possibility for the small shareholders to make a collective action to get indemnified. This is very important because if you are alone, it's very difficult. It is technical, it is difficult to evaluate, to get the information, it's costly to get a lawyer, and so collective action is really needed. And this is, there is a project right now from the European authorities, so that's good news. Now, if I come more specifically to the Slovenian situation where the capital market is not very active, and again, where I think also, because I've been in Slovenia since yesterday, so I listened a lot to what's going on, and there is also a lot of faith and some disillusion from small shareholders, individual shareholders, although thanks to the privatization process after the socialist era, there are still a lot of individual shareholders. Hundreds of thousands of Slovenians are still shareholders out of a total of 2 million. That's a lot of people. But so they have lost confidence. How to restore confidence? At Slovenian level, we believe, and based also on the analysis of the VZMD, that maybe there are 3 more specific things that could be done in Slovenia. First is if you are selling your shares, but you are reinvesting them in other shares, you should not be taxed on the capital gain. So that should encourage shareholders first to get money by, getting a capital gain on their shares, but also reinvesting in the stock market. So I think that would be a very good incentive to keep individual shareholders in the market, still make them interested in the Slovenian economy and growth, and participate to the fruits and the rewards of the growth of the economy by being owners of the blue chip companies in Slovenia. That's one thing. Second thing, I heard that Slovenia is also contemplating a pension reform, like everywhere in Europe. The mandatory pensions are no longer able to provide the level of pensions that they were providing before. And so I understand there are plans to develop a personal or an individual pension plan for Slovenians. Then I think it's very important that Slovenian people are not obliged to choose only among packaged investment products offered by banks or financial institutions, because often packaged products mean high commission products. They should be able also to still invest directly into the Slovenian economy, and so these personal individual pension plans, when they are created, should allow any Slovenian citizen, if he or she decides to go directly and buy directly shares on the stock exchange or bonds or this kind of products as well. And the last thing is about transparency and making sure that small Slovenian shareholders are treated equally with big shareholders. I understand it has not always been like this in the past. I think Christian told you about the Mercator situation. Did you, Christian? Because my understanding of Slovenian is small. But I can tell you this is an emblematic example and a very unique opportunity for Slovenia, for the Slovenian authorities, for the Slovenian financial institutions, for the blue chip company like Mercator, and for the individual Slovenian shareholders to show that Slovenia is adopting good practices, best practices standards in corporate governance and in the protection of minority shareholders' rights. And this is why Euro shareholders this morning, we issued a press release to support the current plan that we heard about and you heard about, that instead of continuing to sell minority packs of shares of Mercator, not very transparently among big shareholders and small shareholders knowing nothing and not knowing how to benefit from any capital increase or share appraisal. Instead of doing that, it is now being considered that some big shareholders will combine and will make a transparent, public, opened offer for a majority stake of shares in Mercator, which means more than 50%, open, transparent, open to everyone, which would mean then, if it's confirmed, of course, that small shareholders will be treated equally as these other big shareholders. Will have fully transparent information with the help of the Mercator management itself, and that you will benefit also from the same pricing conditions and the same what we call the majority premium, because the advantage for a minority shareholder is when you sell a majority stake in a company, in a public offering, then there is this so-called majority premium that shareholders or other investors are ready to pay a little more if they can get the control or the majority ownership of the company. So I think this is a very good and unique test to make sure that there is a strong will from everyone in Slovenia to protect small shareholders' interests. And again, your shareholders is supporting this move, this EMD as well, of course, and we're going to watch it very closely. And we hope that is the beginning of a new era for small shareholders in Slovenia to make money, indeed. If we look at other countries in Europe, I would say that yes, there are countries where minority shareholders could be seen as better treated, but it's more, I think, up to the national government. Because as I said, the general regulations principle are the same. As I said also, the European Commission is considering revising these regulations to better protect small shareholders. I said there is an open consultation, and in the European authorities process, it means that once it's closed, they're going to propose new European regulations. And so, of course, we will participate to this consultation. We'll give examples, and I think we will give the Slovenian example, and that's why also we will follow carefully what's happening on Mercator, because again I think it's a very good case study, and it will show to the European authorities what problems remain for small shareholders. But don't dream in other, to try to answer directly your question right now, in other countries, small shareholders also suffer difficulties, and that's why we are also there to fight. With the financial crisis, there were a lot of damage. There were big banks that collapsed in the UK, for example, in Belgium, Fortis Bank, in the Netherlands, in Luxembourg, there were also problems. And so non-insider shareholders got more hit than insider shareholders, and that is not fair, and that is not in line with the European shareholder rights protection. So it's a question of enforcement by national authorities, and as I said, it's also a question to get the right to complain and to get indemnification in the cases where this has not been applied. This is also enforcement of this principle. That's why also I think it's important that Slovenia and the whole European Union adopt a collective action scheme or system for small investors and small shareholders.